Well, it's time to grab your board, paddle along as we talk about board talk, but not that kind of boards. We're talking about nonprofit boards with the woman who seems to know everybody on the nonprofit boards these days, Nelma Maddox. Welcome.
Well, I wish that was true. There's over 9,000 in Orange County.
Really? Is
so
it that
it's
many?
impossible for
Oh,
me
my
to know
goodness.
that. I am well connected, but we'll kind of we'll get into that a little bit more on how I actually met Ken and Paige. But before we get started, I do want to say welcome to the show. Thanks so much. This is show 4, Paul. Super excited about
Show
it.
4 is always a magic number.
Crazy.
I don't know why.
And Miracles for Kids was my first choice of having you guys on, but this is how
They
it
had to hear the
evolved.
first 3 to
They
see
did,
if they were going to
exactly.
do it. Yeah.
We did not save the best for last. So anyway, it's going to be a good show. So welcome Ken, welcome Paige, both from the Cruz family, a beautiful family in Orange County that has been philanthropic for as long as I've known of them. So fortunate to know all of you. And I know Pam's not here, Kyla, Peyton, Katie. So we can't
Don't leave any of them out.
can't squeeze them all into this wonderful studio, but one of these days maybe. So
Let's get Ken a little closer to the mic there. Push
Okay.
it back or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Closer.
Or you can move it up a little bit, raise it a little bit, just kind of hold it. Yeah, like that. There you go. We don't want to miss any of that.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
Good stuff here. All right.
So, I'm not going to do ladies first yet, Paige. Okay, I'm going to start with Dad, only because Miracles for Kids, you were the ex-chairman of the board.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about how long you've been involved with Miracles for Kids and what your favorite thing is about being on that board.
Yeah, I've been involved with Miracles for Kids since I think the first time we went to one of their galas was back in 2010 or 2011. And I was just blown away by the organization. If you think about causes in Orange County, as you mentioned, there's 9,000 different really compelling causes in our area. But when you distill down what Miracles for Kids does, which is helping families often below the poverty line who have a child that is battling a life-threatening illness, and they help them by providing support, care, food, housing, financial support, you name it, helping the siblings who often get left by the wayside when there's a child battling a life-threatening illness. It's one of the most compelling causes I've come across. And not only that, the board is just this remarkable group of folks led by Autumn Stryer. We can talk about Autumn during the
incredible.
course of today's conversation, but got involved at the gala level, and then fairly shortly thereafter had the privilege of being invited onto the board of director or the board, and have been on since 2015.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt you for one more second. Somebody
Good.
tweeted and said, why did we let him leave his sticker on his shirt here? We
Oh.
should take the sticker off here.
Sorry,
To
tweeted.
get it,
I
we're
love
UCI's Applied
I
Innovation. They
love
make
it.
you wear stickers to come in
Oh,
here,
I
folks.
got it.
Right.
Okay.
He's not just trying to remind Nelma who he is here with
This
us.
is a good opportunity for us to shift this to
She
Paige,
remembered
though.
my name.
That's right.
Because you just did Basket of Miracles, right? Can you tell me a little bit about your favorite activity to do with Miracles? Not to lead that. I just know that was the most recent one you did.
Oh yeah.
Now we got to get her mic up. How about that? Try that. Here we go. We're screwing up today. Go ahead. Are you there?
Yeah.
No, that's not the right mic. How about that one? Let's try this one. Go ahead. There we go.
I would say probably like traveling and helping when we went to Mexico, and I think I was in like 2nd grade,
Yeah.
and we got to like help build houses, and it was just cool to be a community and just work together to help these people.
You were
that-
how old? 2nd grade or
I
something?
think I was
Pretty
like
young.
7 or 8.
7 or 8.
Yeah.
That's adorable. Okay, so
Yeah.
they don't let you touch the hammer, but like, what do you get to do?
Actually, I've never been in the running for Father of the Year, largely because I think I did give her the hammer. Or maybe it was the skill saw or something.
With the skill
Lord.
saw.
Good Lord. Okay, but Dad's he's got 4 daughters. So what's your favorite memory about that?
I would say just working together to build something that we're proud of to give to the community is really important, and just like knowing that we're a part of something bigger than us. And
I love that.
I think that was really important because also I was just like really young too,
Yeah.
and like I think it's important to start serving your community at a young age.
I got to jump in. I have a 7-year-old grandson. I can't imagine him saying, I want to serve the community. I want you to
We
serve
always go
me.
down this road. These poor grandchildren of Paul, like they just get slammed all the time.
Right. right?
It's about, because at that age, it's about me. It's not about others.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would say, but also my parents too help a lot
Yeah.
with
I'll
us,
bet.
like
I'll bet.
joining in like National Charity League. Do you know what
Yeah,
that
I
is?
do. Tell me a little bit more, because maybe our audience doesn't know. So talk to me about NCL.
NCL, it helps with like charity and service, working with girls and moms to just like do a bunch of service to help the community and help us get close together through service.
Like what
and-
kind of service? What do you do?
Oh,
Serve them food? Do you serve them
yeah.
information? What do you serve?
Yeah, we worked with FAM and we helped like packaging food for families and like
Awesome.
Laura's house for clothing and stuff.
Oh, that one's great.
Great
Yeah.
charity.
Good
We've
one.
had them in here.
Totally.
Yeah, and I also worked at the ecology center too, which helped a lot.
Yeah.
And it was fun to like make the jams and stuff.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's what's incredible about organizations like NCL. We compare NCL to Lion's Heart a lot because I don't know if you guys know Lion's Heart. That was what originally brought me here in the first place. And it was formed by a mom who wanted a charity for her sons. And she felt that NCL was more for girls. So if you really think about it, sometimes there's a little bit of a separation from that. So what we go back to why we actually know your dad is he's good friends with my husband, Larry. And they met through, this is not politically correct anymore, Paul, but it was
Okay.
called,
The dude's place. No.
well, it was Indian Guides and then it was Indian Princess.
Oh, yeah, Indian
Yeah.
Princess.
Now
Oh,
it's,
Indian
So-
now it's called Adventure Princesses.
Now it's Adventure
Yeah.
Princess.
And
And
Paige, he was
yeah.
one of our youngest members.
Oh yeah.
See, so I don't know if you remember, Chief Larry, but your dad was one of the best chiefs. So Kaylin still goes back to that, and she thinks Kaylin's 22 now. So if you think about those memories when they went to Catalina and you guys went to, make all these bonding moments. That what ends up happening is the dads stay friends forever. The girls don't end up being friends forever. But what's hilarious is the dads are still playing poker. The dads still go on World Cup trips. Like, it's kind of wild.
We did a hike up to the top of Half Dome this spring with a bunch of former Indian princesses or adventure princesses.
Yes.
chiefs.
Wait, I heard you rock that.
Oh, well, I don't know if I rocked
Yes. Well, because Derek was
Survived it.
there. Derek was there. Like, that's a tough one. Half Dome's insane.
It was,
I'm
it was
not
an
in shape.
amazing experience.
Yeah.
Did
Great
you go up the rock face?
We went up the face, and it was before they call the cables are up. So during the season, you have to have a pass, and then they put these cables up so you sort of can hang on to them and climb up.
Right.
This is before they put them up, and so you have to climb up with climbing gear. And it makes it a little bit more difficult because
A
you're
little
actually
bit.
having to lift the cables up and
Yes.
go. But it was a great experience. But it was back to
intense.
Adventure Princesses. It's a bunch of
That's what I'm saying.
former dads
Yeah.
from Adventure Princesses.
It is that fundamental bond, right? So tell me, from that experience, what has been your favorite memory of Indian Princess? Or,
Ooh,
sorry,
that's
Adventure
hard.
Princess. Yeah?
Yeah, I had a lot of memories, and also 2 of my really close friends I met through Indian Princess.
Oh,
See?
I
So
love
they are
that.
different.
See? Okay, so
Yeah.
you guys stayed
So
together.
what
That's
is?
good.
I didn't go through Indian Princess. I know a lot of guys who did, who had little girls who did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it sort of just like the Boy Scout kind of version? You go camping and you do outdoor stuff and everything here.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
Ken talk about it, because Ken was nation chief at one point.
He was the
which is-
nation
he was the
chief?
nation
Oh, well,
chief.
then
it
we
sounds,
Big deal.
sounds so prestigious.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Yes.
No, Indian Princesses, now known as Adventure Princesses, is an incredible formula because it gets dads with their daughters away from home, away for their great weekend, 5 to I think 9 times per year, depending on the calendar. And we break away to places like Imperial Beach for surf camp. We're camping on the beach under the stars,
Cool. Yeah.
get up in the morning and go out surfing and have great food and all sorts of just camaraderie, day in and day out. We do it up in the mountains with the snow and all sorts of fun trips like that. The whole premise of Adventure Princesses is that it's 100 dads for every daughter, which means that we're all looking out for each other, and the daughters are kind of running around like Lord of the Flies, and the dads are like you
That's
said,
what I would picture. Yeah.
the dads are playing cards all night. So more often the daughters are looking after the
Yes,
dads. after they've
that is
had
true.
Too much scotch playing cards, but and usually by the end of the weekend, the girls they all come home and their moms have dutifully packed all sorts of clothes and toothbrushes and things like that. They open up the bags. Nothing has been touched. The toothbrush is not been touched. There's candy stuck to their hair. There's dirt all over them.
Oh, it's just the best.
It's
I
great.
think actually a woman invented it because it's genius. Because not only did they do it for girls, but it was also for dads and sons to bond.
Yeah.
So if you had a son and a daughter, which Larry did, there were multiple weekends when I didn't have a child around, which I was like, this is incredible. This is like Mother's Day, and then the moms would kind of hang around. Anyway, I'm sorry, we're getting totally off track about boards, but but anyway, I do think that that's really important too in terms of what ends up happening. That ends up being your community. That ends up being who you're serving next to. I guarantee you the friends that you have are the ones that are in NCL with you, and they're also the ones that continue to do volunteer work. I'm going to shift gears. I'm going to make you go beyond kind of your sophomore year here. Just if you kind of glimpse into the future a little bit, where will you give back, do you think?
You're assuming she will. She may be done with that.
She might. She's just such a sweetheart, so I don't think that's possible. But
Yeah, I really like working with the Ecology Center, so I think our school's also working with them too. And
what
I
is
think,
their mission?
bringing like healthy foods and
Oh.
and like I'm trying to think, what's the word?
The non-GMO.
Zero processed,
And
organic,
sustainable.
sustainable food.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
And
Should we do a show with Chef Pascal we were talking about earlier?
Yeah,
Chef
that's
Pascal?
what I just
He's
handed
big
the
friends
card.
with him. I think he was on the board for a long time. He keeps saying you're going to bring them in here. I've never been there. I don't know them at all.
Oh,
The
you
Ecology
should
Center.
definitely come.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool.
Visit.
Oh, I would love that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's incredible. I would love a tour sometime. And then if you can look at the show that was just passed, it was Max Love Project. They actually do healthy foods and sustainable foods for cancer patients.
Oh, that's
So they partner, and this we can go back to Autumn here in a little bit. I know I'm all over the place today, but we can go back to that introduction. It was Autumn who introduced that group and that mom and daughter to me in order to have them on because Miracles couldn't be on last time. So let's shift gears and talk about Autumn. What an incredible person she is and what an inspiration.
For sure. We can both talk about
that'd be great.
because whoever she touches, she just has a real impact on them. So as I mentioned, Miracles for Kids was formed in 2002 by this another amazing person, Curtis Green, who's still on the board today. Just one of the kindest, most inspirational guys I've ever met. In 2004, he brought on Autumn. So Autumn's been there for over 20 years and has been the CEO over that entire time frame and been involved with a number of different charitable organizations. And I've just never come across one that had such a dynamic, inspirational CEO who you just want to do things for. Like she's one of those people that you just want to run up the hill for her. And she's super kind, but very direct, knows what she wants and typically gets what she wants. So
Just get it
she's
done.
which is so important on a board, charitable board in particular, because you've got a bunch of type A, typically entrepreneurs who are part of the board, who aren't used to taking direction or orders from anyone. And often I think that's probably the biggest risk for any charitable foundation board or charitable organization board, is that dysfunction occurs because there isn't any cohesive central leadership. And I think that's probably, aside from the incredible cause, Autumn's leadership skills has been probably the greatest factor for the success of Miracles.
So this would be the appropriate place for me to ask the question I ask every week. What does a charitable board do? Did they just raise money? Did they set strategy? Do they, I don't know. What do they do?
All of the above is what I would say. And we also treat ourselves more, I actually use the term board of directors, which we are not, but we think of ourselves, a lot of us came from the public company world, we think of ourselves as a fiduciary to the constituents for the organization, whether it's the people who donate their hard-earned money to the cause or the families that we're serving as an organization. And Miracles is medium-sized. We do about 5 million or so of support every year, which is not small, but there are multiples of that in some of the organizations that we all know of. So we're a reasonably sized organization, fairly complex in terms of what we do to ensure that every dollar that we bring in has the maximum impact for the folks who need our help. So through not just being present for volunteering activities and those types of things, which is really, really important,
Yep.
and leading by example, bringing our families out to help with baskets of miracles and so on and so forth. Inspiring our friends, our peers, our social circles to also come in and support the cause is really important part of the board. But we do a retreat every year where we all lock ourselves in a room and come up with a strategic direction for the organization, set real, lofty, ambitious goals, and we all own at least one project each year that is aimed at advancing the values and the objectives of the.
That's
Miracles.
unique.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, that's the first
Yeah.
I've heard. I love that. Two things stand out about your board to me. One is, and we'll start with Autumn. It's the example piece. It's the fact that everywhere I go, if I do baskets or if I do, name it, the backpacks,
Yeah.
she's there.
Yeah.
And she's got her sleeves rolled up and she's
Yeah.
absolutely doing it. And then maybe one of her kids is there. It doesn't matter, but I mean, she's there doing it. The second thing I realized about your board, because we've had the privilege of getting to attend the gala, which we love, by the way, is just the sheer fun that your board has, and the closeness and camaraderie that you have. I don't see that on all boards. I've been on a couple boards myself, and it's not always there. And you're right. I think it starts with the leadership, but it also starts with the accountability that somebody has to say, I have this project, I'm doing this year, this is what I'm giving back.
Right.
So
Right.
I love that.
And it's a lot of folks who have really good ideas, but coming back to what you said about the fun piece of it, and Curtis will start and finish every sentence with that.
Yeah.
We got to have fun. I mean,
Yeah.
the subject matter is weighty, right? It's really, it pulls out your heartstrings, right? The subject that we're dealing with, helping these families who really need our help, and it's such a privilege to be able to do that, and to have fun around it, and to have fun with the families that are benefiting from Miracles for Kids through. There's a guy on our board, Tom Swanekamp, who does surf camps. That's his project.
Oh my
He does
gosh,
these
I
surf
love
camps,
that too.
right? And so these families who don't really get a chance to go to the beach, we take that kind of thing for granted. They don't get that many opportunities to even go to the beach. We live right here in Orange County, and he does such a great job of
such a
putting
good
on these
program.
surf camps. So,
We do a show with the Orange County Hispanic Chamber. They talked about one of the episodes was how many kids in Santa Ana will never go to the beach.
right.
Interesting.
They
Is there a
live
number?
whatever it was shockingly high.
Huh.
And they stay within a community. They stay within an area. They do not. In fact, the host of that show, John Gutierrez, I hope I'm not calling him up. He does it on the air. He never even learned to swim.
Wow.
I was going to laugh about that actually because
Yeah.
Laura Collins, who heads up 360 Miracle, which Pam,
Yeah.
your mom, your wife, is a founder of. 360 Miracle is a subset of Miracles for Kids, where it's women who really just start circles. And our goal, I believe, is 1,000 women. I think we're you'll know better. Maybe we're at 700.
It's moving forward, and I think it is around 700
Yeah,
at this time.
I think so. But the laughable part about it is Laura called me up and said, "Hey, Nelma, would you like to help with surf camp?" And I said, "Do I have to know how to swim?" She's
The
like,
answer is
"Let's
no.
keep you out of the water." The answer is no.
So
You go do
do you
something
know how to
else.
swim? You don't know how to swim?
No.
Oh, we'll teach you. Junior lifeguard here.
There you go. Paige will
there's a
teach me.
huge number of population things you're saying in certain communities, and maybe they're some of the particularly in some of the struggling communities like Santa Ana, Anaheim, whatever. Never learn to swim.
No,
There's no pool around.
well.
And they don't ever generally. I'm not saying nobody goes to the beach, but they don't have that same experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't grow up
And
on
it's
the
one of
beach.
those things that we take for granted.
1,000%.
And to see the smiles on the faces of the kids who do those surf camps, and the moms and the siblings, and just to have that experience, once a summer, amazing.
Well, I don't know the statistics now, but with the onset of electronics, right, and iPads and everything, there's a
too,
lot of
yeah.
babies that actually don't ever experience steps.
Yes.
Or learn how to use stairs, right? So there's
What?
those statistics too.
What?
Yeah, which is like your normal mobility process and everything. So, that's another place where Ken and I met. Is he and Kyla spoke on our panel at Pretend City. So the one thing I also noticed about Orange County, and Paige is going to see this too, is that you start to see the repeat of the families. You're like, hey, I see you there. I see you there. I
Get
see
it
you
and
there.
give.
Right?
Yeah,
There
right,
is.
yeah.
There's a lot of that. But how lucky we are, right? That we can do that, and we're a place to do that.
Can I give it? I don't want to go down a negative path, but I have to ask because it's in the back of my head. So much from my perception. Have you never been on a board? particularly charitable board, is that a lot of people put it on. Somebody asks them,
Yeah.
but they're too busy. They're really not that committed to it. They put their name on it because it'll help
Sure.
raise money or whatever, and they're not active.
Yeah.
So is that a correct perception? Are there people, not in these organizations, but are there people that just sort of put their name on a bunch of boards because they're asked or it looks good or whatever? Or do you really have to? And there must be boards that are really active. Sounds like
Yeah.
this is one that
I'll let
is.
Ken answer that one first.
Oh yeah, we can share this one because that's a terrific question, and a lot of larger organizations will have two-tiered boards. There's sort of an active executive board, and then there's a fundraising and almost like titular board. That's very common, especially when there's a foundation associated with them. We don't have that at Miracles. We have a really active board, and I just wanted to hook back because I think this helps to answer your question. You mentioned Miracles 360. Well, Miracles 360 was an idea that was generated through one of our retreats when we had a Shark Tank competition, where we were all tasked with showing up with an idea that we could advance during the course of the next year. And the winner of the Shark Tank that year was Miracles 360, and it was it's now grown to, as you mentioned, over
it's
700 people.
gangbusters.
It's such a
Yeah,
terrific,
it's insane.
terrific concept. So that's another one last point. I don't mean to take the floor here, but involvement in a board, a charitable board, or any form of a board, it follows a natural course. I think it's sort of an arc for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And what we've seen with Miracles Board, I've been on for many years now, over 10 years, and we have this fresh group that's come in over the last few years, and I've very much taken a step back and allowed the new folks to come in, and their energy, their ideas, their new way of looking at things has energized the process, has brought new ways of doing things to our organization. And I think that's a very important thing too, to have this evergreen refreshing of the board, so that the grizzled veterans like myself aren't the ones who are throwing the same ideas out every single year. We have new folks that'll come in and bring the new stuff.
I like that. That's good.
Can boards become kind of a private club? That's my other perception, is that certain people founded it, started, and then some point it's hard to pivot because they're still the same group that was there from the beginning.
I can't speak for all of them, but I mean, I'm sure that's organic. I mean, I think it happens sometimes, and maybe there's some stagnancy that happens.
Well,
unfortunately, those organizations won't then grow.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I was wondering, I mean, they're obviously recruiting board members for skills, for talent, for visibility, for funds, for money, or whatever. There's a variety of reasons they ask people to be on a board.
Yeah.
So you got some very talented, like your guest today, very talented, successful people. Why not tap into that? Why not use those full resources?
So I'm on Lion's Heart. I ended up being asked to be the chairperson of the board there. And that has been an interesting experience for me because I don't even have a child that's old, right? Like that's that age anymore.
Right.
So thinking about Paige, who's, your youngest and then is going to move on, right? Like I'm sure you probably have in your head. I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you where you want to go to college. Do you know yet?
She's never leaving.
Baby stays home.
Says the Indian Princess Chief.
Ooh, that was a sore spot.
Are you trying to
Okay.
make me cry today?
This is a crying show. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no. I'm
She's
kidding.
going to leave?
No. Any thought or stay close to home?
Yeah, I think I might stay close to home, like in Santa Barbara, or I also kind of want to go to England for some reason.
Or England.
Wow.
Yeah.
Paige, I just want
Or
you to know that's
UCI.
across the pond. Okay, we're sitting at UCI. We kind of want you to get like the bug.
Yeah.
Did you see all the stuff they've got going
Cool.
on here? This
Yeah.
is a
Close.
fancy year.
Dad was selling it like from the lobby all the way up here.
Good
That's what
school.
I got.
Real good
Yeah.
It's a great school.
Maybe St. Andrews or like King's College or something.
Yeah, that'd
Okay,
be cool.
awesome.
I'm still deciding though.
Yeah.
There's so many places that I want to go
Oh
and
gosh.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a question I have, but won't put you on the spot. Did we establish, is she part of a youth, is there a youth board for this?
There's no youth board for Miracles yet.
Right.
See, that's what amazes me, how many youth boards you brought in. And I thought, they can't really listen to these kids. It must be just a title that they get them sort of. Many of them do. Some of them ask these kids really what they're thinking.
I think Lion's Heart does it the best. They actually include 2 of their board members from their youth in their board meetings every other month.
That's great.
Oh,
And in that
that's cool.
2-hour setting, they do ask, how's the app working? What do you think of this? What do you think if we do a, alumni board? What should we do? So food for thought, right? One thing
Yeah.
Miracles does do, which is very successful, is they do have ambassadors at certain high schools.
Yeah.
So that's a nice liaison. and Terry's the one who works with those
Yeah,
folks. But
that's great.
but just food for thought. Maybe think about it.
I've been
Yeah.
impressed. I never knew the
Put
word
it on a
youth
college
sports.
resume.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Started a youth
set up.
sport.
Yeah, you're
That'd be
set up.
very cool.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you've done all the work, and that's what's so cool about it. And you see your dad do it, you see your mom do it, and that's what's incredible about this type of spirit, right? It comes from your heart, so it's very natural. So I actually think about it as when I watch like a good golfer, or when I watch somebody on my team who's really strong at sales, they don't even know that they're doing it,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Natural.
sometimes it takes a coach to kind of spot it and just be like, that's a severe strength, like let's accelerate that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But somebody had to plant the seed, just like somebody got them
maybe.
turned on to golf or whatever it is that you're
Yes.
saying. Somebody along the way said, expose them to this.
Yeah.
And are my grandkids exposed to this stuff? No. They're sitting home playing video games.
Okay, I'm going to
and-
point my finger at you. Like, whose fault is that, Grandpa?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
taking
all right.
responsibility for it. So I think you have to expose kids to this. And if you do, leads to my next question. Everybody's come on, every young person's come on so far has said, I want to do more of this later in life. I'm
Oh,
not just
yeah,
doing it just
definitely.
because my parents want me. Was it your son that said,
Yeah, my son said she made me, so.
she made me. But now he says,
Sounds like him.
I will do it anyway.
But he'd do it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you do it
Yeah.
anyway, Paige?
Definitely.
When you're in London and nobody knows what you're doing here?
Yeah, I think
Anonymous.
so. I was actually thinking about that today because I love to sing and stuff, and I was thinking like maybe I could help out with like people who want to learn to sing, maybe, and that
Wow.
they can't, or they
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just like a thought that came into my head, like maybe I could start a business or work with someone.
Have you
to
ever heard
help.
about music therapy?
Yeah.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
had
definitely.
music therapists in here through the years, and the idea is that people with brain injuries or severely disabled or old, everybody's going to look at me, everybody who's old,
Yes.
suddenly there's something about music that will reach into them, even people with dementia or,
Yeah.
or
Yes.
whatever,
Yeah.
Parkinson's,
Yeah.
dementia will.
It's the same part of the brain, actually.
And maybe you understand it more than I do. I know that somehow you can reach people who otherwise can't talk. You sing something in music, and
Yeah.
it invokes something, brings back something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, and that would be amazing to help people with that.
Do you like to sing opera, or is it mostly Taylor
Opera,
Swift? Or
opera,
I'm just wondering. I mean, some people have certain skill sets.
Yeah,
opera.
I think opera is really cool, but
Oh my goodness!
I usually sing like Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's
and-
awesome.
Yeah, I really like her new album.
Taylor's coming in here next week. No.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay, Paul, how are we doing on time?
We're gonna have
We've-
5-10 minutes. Yeah, somewhere in there. 5.
Okay, cool. So our audience is mostly what, Paul? Just like kind of a mishmash of everybody? 'Cause
Mishmash. We do mostly business channels, so a lot of people are going to tune in because of Ken, and they say, "What's Ken doing? And why is he doing this stuff? And maybe I should be doing this stuff." But what I'm amazed is when you bring in the
Yeah.
daughters and the families members who are in, and I get the sense aren't just being pulled into it because I got to do this because like your son, I got to do this.
There's a little of that, but
But at some point, it takes hold.
yes. And I was just going to say this. So we only have 5 minutes left. So Paige, any closing thoughts that you want to say to the audience? Like if you were to walk away from this and say, I want the audience to know this about miracles, or this about my charitable hours, or this about NCL.
Yeah, I'd probably say Miracles for Kids I think it's a very special business, and it's just really cool to see like people grow together. And I've gone to a lot of the events like on Christmas and stuff, and it's cool to see like the families grow, and you really get to connect with them and just see them on a personal note. And I think that's really important to see.
What have you learned from them? They've clearly learned, you guys prevent things to them, help. What have you learned from them? Any takeaways like, wow, I didn't know people thought that way?
I'd say that gratitude is really important, and family, and just like love each other no matter what happens is really important, and just knowing
Now you're
that.
going to get me crying here.
I know. Thanks for sharing. That's so
Yeah.
sweet. It's so true. I mean, there were one of the first families that Kyle helped at the very beginning, and I think this is why it took hold of him so strongly, is that we actually ended up getting a patient that passed. And it was,
Wow.
that's just part of it, right? It was a baby. And I remember seeing Kyle, he was only in 6th grade, and it just sort of struck him in a way that it was just like, this is not fair.
Yeah.
And this is at a time, quite frankly, when, you know, I had to get him a dog because I was like, all he wants to do is play video games. He's killing me. He's kind of a brat.
Right.
And he'll be the first person to tell you now, right now. He wrote an essay about it. His first essay at FIU is actually about how selfish he was growing up in Orange County and sort of being surrounded by all the things that you're spoiled by and you sort of take for granted, like we were saying, the beach, walking, you know, things like that. So
A new PlayStation.
yeah. Okay, so Ken, closing thoughts.
Geez, how do I tie out? This is such a great conversation. Thank you again for having us here today.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, anytime.
I wanted to hook back to the concept that you just made about gratitude. And we talk about volunteering, we talk about philanthropy, and there's always this connotation that it's involving giving and doing and putting forth your efforts. And the fact is, you just said it really well about Kyle. We get so much more out of it than we put into it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and learning, you know, seeing the human side of every person that's on our planet, that everybody's going through their own struggles. Everybody's a real person. Everybody in many ways is the hero of his or her own journey that we're all on. And to see people at that level, instead of being on a screen, pushing a button saying, here's $5, but handing a present to a kid who turns around, you know, and hugs you.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
I think
it's
Yeah.
very special.
It
so
is.
special, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, what I found through my philanthropic journey, and Paige, you said it way better than I will, but it's just that you get so much more out of it than you put into it. It's remarkable.
It is.
And why then is it, on some level, maybe I'm in a building filled with young tech. They're so focused on their careers and their thing. This was always, well, I'm not picking on Bill Gates, please, but it was always said about him and the crowd, that kind of crowd. So involved, it took until much later in life for them to realize the value of that. Was it just time? Didn't have the time to do it? Didn't see I'm going to get anything. They wrote checks. Well, they always write checks. But to get involved and go hand stuff out, that's a different thing. So what is it that holds people back? What would you say to others who aren't on enough board, or aren't in an active board?
Well, I guess I'll just close by saying the reason why I'm the way I am is because of my parents, you know, and they didn't have anything to give. My dad is a humble immigrant from the Philippines who had to basically be in construction after being trained as a pharmacist. And then came here.
He was trained as a pharmacist and couldn't get it here. Okay.
But this is the whole reason why I have the show, is because my dad's funeral, he had 3 funerals, and I got to attend 2. And at both of those, they came up, there would be people who came up to me and said, did you know your dad gave me the money to go to Florida because I got a job? And I couldn't afford to get to Florida, so he paid for my flight. And then another person came up and said, did you know that your dad gave me 50 pesos every week so I could feed my family? This was in Philippines.
God.
So he was doing that all the time. And then, of course, this is my mom. No wonder we were poor.
I don't want the money to buy things. He's giving it away.
But that's the pot calling the kettle black, because she was the same. She has been giving her the shirt off of her, you know, just, I mean, honestly, everything she had. If she saw a child that was hungry, that was who ate.
Why
So,
do I see, I'm not going to get political, but why, you know, immigrants are under attack these days, too many, we don't want them and everything. I see that immigrant story all the time. Those who have, on the Hispanic Chamber, talking about people come in,
course.
who have nothing and still give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't give from affluence, you just give out of...
It's the heart. I think it's the heart. And I think it's that, you know, and I just have always had an affinity for kids and moms, and just the, you know, the person who couldn't. So I ran for people who couldn't. I can't swim for those who can't. 'Cause I don't.
Not going to rescue me drowning.
But, listen, this conversation can go on forever. I have loved this short 30 minutes. We're going to have to revisit it.
Gonna have to come
and
back.
We're going to have you come back. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay action oriented. Stay purposed.
And give us, before you do that, you always you forgot to give the tag. How did they get to Miracles for
Oh,
Kids?
yes, thank you. miraclesforkids.org. Yep. And then
Anything coming
360
up
Miracle.
Anything we should plug coming up? Any events?
They
or
just had
anything?
their amazing gala, but Christmas and Thanksgiving, so you can get involved with Baskets for Miracles. Just go on the website. There's plenty of things to do. You can do it remotely, but if you want to deliver food to a family and change their life
Definitely
and change
do the
yours,
baskets.
There
do
you
the
go.
baskets.
Do the delivery if you can.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
impactful.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, there you have it. There's a lot more to board talk than you thought, as we examine the people who are walking the walk and talking the talk and leading by example. Less talk, more walk. That's what we're looking for right here in Orange County's only community radio station. OC Talk Radio, streaming live from our studios here at the University of California Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.